Welcome back, everyone, to East Hartford, Connecticut and Bowlero Hall of Fame Silver Lanes. We are here for round 5 of the double elimination single game Masters match play. It's the NEBA Masters event sponsored by Bloomfield Electric, GMS Concrete, and Tony and Suzanne Reynaud. It was great having Tony on our live feed for the last couple of rounds, but very pleased to say that joining us here to go over this Contenders bracket matches for us is none other than NEBA Hall of Famer Brian Bogosian. How you doing, Brian?
Good, thanks, Bruce.
Hey, great to have you on. Boy, I don't remember ever having you on before here. So,
one time I was with Chris. At Town Line.
Okay. Oh, great.
2-3 years ago.
Well, Town Line is strings now, so yes. I don't think we're going to be doing Town Line anytime soon. No. As Brian Gaskell will remind us incessantly that there's nothing but string bowling there at Town Line these days. So,
yeah,
thanks to
that was the last regular tournament I think they had there.
Yeah,
NEBA tournament.
I think you're right.
It was the last one.
Yep. Unless we want to go do
Mike
a string
Macedo won that one.
I was going to say Mike Macedo won. He beat Calvin Sellers.
You have a memory like a steel trap.
This guy has a memory.
It's amazing.
But I remember us on the call.
Yes.
Well, Brian, a lot of people don't know this, but in the early 90s, NEBA was not doing that well. And you came on as president, and I understand you did a lot of things. Were you secretary?
Secretary.
Well, whatever you did, you introduced things like brackets.
Yep.
You did some other things to really rejuvenate the club, right?
Tie games.
Yeah.
Side stuff.
Yeah.
Striker 9 jackpot.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I was part of that a lot. Yeah. So how did the membership? What happened to the membership in that time? Because I know that's about the time we said we went from a win being 12 Hall of Fame points to 6, right around 1992, because the entries went down so much, right?
Yes.
So
it was struggling in like 1990, 91. There was a couple tournaments. Billy broke 100, I think.
Yeah.
And then Bob Frazier was retiring, and he kind of semi-recruited me almost to see if I'd be interested, because at the time I wasn't working full-time. I just had like a part-time job at the bowling center. Mm-hmm. And he kind of talked me into it almost, and I took the job.
The best thing that ever happened to NEBA, as far as I hear. So that's good
thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I just tried to put. I've been bowling tournaments probably 7-8 years at that point, and I really loved NEBA. I'd won a couple titles, and I just wanted to promote bowling as best as I could. And I saw what all these other tournaments were doing, and I was just trying to bring a little bit of what some of the other tournaments were doing to NEBA, like the Tournament of Champions, for example. Mm-hmm. That was one of my ideas that I came up with, the non-champions and the Tournament of Champions.
Wow. Stuff we just take for granted now. Side stuff, action, all those kind of things. So
yeah.
Hey, Brian, let's go over our matches. We are in the Contenders bracket now, and we are going to be eliminating 2 players now. Rob Green and Jay Johnson are the 2 on 27 and 8. Once again, we have moved the MEVO down, so our feature pairs 27 and 8 and 29 and 30. And Andrew Hall against Chris Vialli, both against Vialli coming off the winner's bracket in a very tough match against Amanda Broge, who gets the first one in the 10th to win that match, and Rob Green coming off a loss to Randall Dunbar. So it's Amanda Broge and Randall Dunbar undefeated, and now we have these 2 contenders, 2 of which will be eliminated right here, and Andrew chops to open in his first frame, and so did Vialli. So we've got 9-9 on that match, and here's Rob Green over with a strike up, trying to double up against Jay Johnson, and does not do so. We're on a very, very difficult pattern, as we've talked about, 1.67 to 1, 40 feet, 32.3 mils, so a lot of oil in the front, but not a lot in the middle, and not a lot to give you really any hold or swing. Brian, you bowled on the qualifying. How did you find that? That pattern was so much easier at 2.29 to 1. Yeah. And the cut was only 69 under to make the finals and 87 under to get a check. So how did you find the qualifying?
I like the side they're bowling on now. I like this side much better personally. I started on 18. I grounded out a 2-0 game, and then I came over here and had a couple of good games to get to like 35 over. And then when I went back to the other side, 3 and 4, I couldn't hook it. The ball was backing up on me. It was like someone used urethane for hours on that pair or
I'm
something.
sure that.
The funny thing is, we started
some of
there,
that.
and our balls, we felt that pair hooked more than all the other pairs we bowled on.
And then when we went to 13 and 14, it hooked at my toe.
Yes.
I bowled like 320 those 2 games.
Yep, that's where we went. We went from 3 and 4 to 3 and 4 to 3 and 4 to 13 and 14. Webb and I that's our first 2 games. Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I was just trying to pipe it, just trying to throw it hard like I used to years ago, and just keep it on
Keep
line.
in play.
And it managed to work the last couple of games.
Well, it sure did. You ended up 46 over, which on this is that's some kind of record. So really, really nice performance.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, you hit a couple of juggernauts. You lost to Salamini to get knocked out, and you lost your first match against Viali, right?
Yeah, we were warming up, and
Yeah.
I beat him in practice by about 60. I struck like every ball. His ball, he couldn't find anything. And then we started it, and he ran me over, and
I know.
he gave me a chance at the end, but
So-
I couldn't take advantage of it. He threw a couple splits, and if I could have doubled, I could have put some heat on him, but I couldn't do
I
it.
think you got up in a 10th, and you needed a double to win, if we're correct, if I remember
I
correctly.
think if I doubled, he might have to double
Or
to
something
beat
like that,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
We said that was probably the match of the 2 of the best tough lane condition bowlers in NEBA going right now. You 2 guys,
Well,
most
with
accurate.
Salamini, too, yeah.
Well, I'm saying with
yeah.
spare
Salamini,
shooting,
yeah.
accuracy, you guys are just.
I left a pocket 7-10 one shot, and I just didn't hit the pocket enough on my other shots.
It's so hard to hit the pocket anyway, and then you leave a 7-10 in the pocket,
Tom's
so-
like, well, I didn't throw the ball very well. I go, well, Tom, I said, you have to hit the same. He goes, all you got to do is hit your mark. I go, but you got to hit your mark and can't miss it by like an eighth.
Yeah, with the right speed.
And he goes, you're right. Exactly what I said to him, because he was like, he's hard on himself all the time. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Tom, I said, you bowled great today.
Well, Brian, you did well on yesterday's pattern, straight up the dry. This is the senior event, won of course by Steve Blanchette.
Yes.
And you were able to hold the ball right up 4-5, right? Pretty much all day, right?
Unfortunately, I left too many splits at the end. I didn't have enough hold. I kept pulling it just a hair. And
Well, nobody had really any hold that I saw. The only forgiveness on that pattern was away to get a little recovery.
You're right.
You know, as I saw.
because if I got it right, it would come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a version of the Newington pattern that Halota ran. This was a version. He told me he had a challenge version of it. So obviously at Newington you had left. Like you could just get to the gutter and just rail it to the left. I bowled next to you
Right.
on Saturday night. I just
Right.
played the gutter and I could just
And it would lay
jam
off.
it as hard as I wanted.
There was no laying off on this pattern.
Yeah, so then
if
I
you were
listened-
half left, it was immediate.
Then I listened to you yesterday, and you're like, "Oh, there's no left." I'm like, "That's how Halota. He must have obviously flattened it out a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, in the mids."
Yeah. There was still plenty of ratio between 2, 3, 4, and 7. There's ratio. It just wasn't any hold. So you play 7, you get it through the front.
Where at Newington,
If
you had an
miss-
ultimate hold down the middle of the lane.
Right. Yeah, here you had none. So
Oh, Jay sliding to
Johnson.
2-8.
very close. Now Viali finally strikes in the third, and Hall needs to strike here to keep up. Once again, these are 2 elimination matches.
Shot.
And great shot there by Andrew. After this, we will bring in the 2 winners of this match, as well as Amanda Broge and Randall Dunbar, our remaining undefeated players. And then we will be down to 3, and then we will have 1 loser's match, then we'll go to our final. So you get a lot of extra contenders matches that you need to kind of keep the bracket in balance here with this double elimination format.
Now, Brian, how many years were you NEBA Secretary Treasurer?
6,
6 years?
92 to 98.
Okay. And then when you I know Marcel was TD one point.
We were the tournament directors and secretary together.
Okay, that's
And then he might have did it like 3 or 4 years. I can't remember exactly. And then Tim Ellis, I think, took over for him.
okay.
And he did it a couple of years.
Haven't seen Tim in a while.
He's in
Yeah,
Florida, I
John's-
believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
is he?
that's John's brother, Tim, the lefty.
Yeah, I remember John.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, I remember John.
And John is in Florida, the last I heard. I haven't talked to him.
Tyler Hearn saying goodbye. Great day for Tyler.
Sorry about it. Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, John, I believe, is down in Florida.
But Tim was doing it, and then I kind of left at that point, and Becky took over.
So Becky's been ever
I kind of
since.
handed it off to her.
Yeah, Becky's 20. How many years?
It would have been 98 she started, so 24 years
24
probably.
years right now.
Yeah.
That's right. Great shot there by Viali to match Andrew Hall's double tie match here on 29 and 30.
When you look at where the club is now to when you obviously kept us going and pushed us forward, what do you think? Like, what do you?
I think it's awesome that it's still going for sure, no doubt.
Coming up on tournament number 1,000.
Yeah, it's a crazy number.
Say, what should we do?
It's a good question.
Gotta have something fun. We only got 24 tournaments left. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, about a year and a half from now, or
no, it'll be next year.
I was just
we're gonna
talking
have less tournaments next year.
I was just talking to Becky.
Next year.
You guys have 26 tournaments, so it'll probably be next year.
Yeah, well, so we're going to reduce the schedule, but this is not general knowledge. We haven't gone public with it. We're probably going to have fewer events next year.
Because you're going to have how many left this year? 7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8. So we'll be within 20. Yeah. Oh yeah. We got.
The following years, I won't disclose the information yet.
That was a rather unfair break by Vialli. He got a little bit slow. Turns up for a 4-10 split. Looks like just high in the pocket.
I was having a conversation with Andrew the other day about NEBA. And usually this is what happens when all the NEBA guys come into the shop. We talk about stuff. But I said, I think at some point, even a guy like me takes it for granted, because when I started in 98, it was when Vialli, at that point, right around there, about 2000, he started putting the money in per tournament.
Yeah, I think he did.
2,500 per tournament, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's, like, at some point, I think, like, sometimes I even said this to Andrew, as a young guy's bowling now, I won't say take it for granted, but, we have all this extra sponsor money.
Yeah, 60,000 plus.
Chris Vialli has done a great job.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if I don't do a sponsor read,
you haven't done one yet.
I'm gonna get crucified. So I better do one.
But like I said, I think sometimes we forget that we didn't have this.
Absolutely, it was the money in the finals used to go up like $2 a place. You'd make the cut, you'd get like $60, and then the next spot was 62, 64.
So you don't even think about that, Guys, I think I heard somebody today is like, well, I just lost second round. I got like whatever $320, and I'm thinking like that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. Well, we push a lot of money down. We pay 1 and 4.
Today was 1 and 4 for this event, or one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, 6 count.
6 count for Andrew,
which now loses wood.
Now Jay Johnson, meanwhile, has 4 spares and has a 9-pin lead over Robert Green.
So I think the evolution, obviously, from what you did, and then even going forward, the evolution of the club, I think, is what's probably, for me as a business person, and obviously being a past president, is what the amazing transition of the club is.
Yeah, think about it. Definitely.
You see the software now. The software that we're in frame 2, and we already know what the cuts are.
Yeah, Becky was just telling me about that, too, when I was in there talking to her for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
The software is incredible.
I mean, when the tournament's over today, when Dan puts the champion's name in, when Dan puts that champion,
will be updated.
The points will be done, which used to take a week or 2.
I used to do it by hand, and then I type it in manually, and it took forever.
And she has this incredible spreadsheet she used to have, and.
Oh, Becky she would copy 2 columns, and they would go over here.
Trust me, I tried watching it one time. I was so confused.
I watched it, yeah. And the spreadsheet was getting so big that it wouldn't load.
And she used to help me when I was doing it, too, just for the record. We happened to, at that time, we were dating, and she was helping me while I was secretary, so she was doing a lot of work then, even though I had the secretary-treasurer title.
Yep.
She was doing more than half the work. I was just sitting behind the desk, collecting a lot of the money, coming up with ideas, but as far as the computer work and the stat work,
great shot by Andrew.
She helped me out with that big time. I wouldn't have been able to do it because I didn't know how to.
She's amazing. I saw her when I became president. I said, "You have to sit down and show me your spreadsheet." I said, because I just need to see it. And when she opened it up, I'm like, I don't understand spreadsheets, but I am totally lost right now.
Well, she showed it to me, and I was like, okay, there's no one, Becky,
that
who could possibly do this if it weren't for you.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, we have kind of traded that sin for another in that there's no one who can do the software besides Kipperman. But, at least that's on a public cloud, and it's, up to
accessible by all of us.
Accessible by all of us. It's modern technology. If we really, really had to recover from that, we could. But that spreadsheet was
that spreadsheet's pretty amazing.
Quite the bailing wire. So great shot there by Vialli. Vialli down 10 through the 6 frames against Hall. Both bowlers Andrew with 1 double and an open, and Vialli with a double and 2 opens. So Andrew up 10 in that match. Here's Bob Green trying to double.
Brooklyn.
And
The
does on the Brooklyn side, or is it a Cali?
I heard a Cali.
We're
I
saying
say
Cali
Brooklyn.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
re-
is it-
I figure you should say Jersey. I say Brooklyn. You say Cali.
well,
I
it's
said it
like,
because Vic was bowling.
Yeah,
so
yeah, no,
oh,
exactly.
there you go. He likes Cali. I say, what do they call Brooklyns in Brooklyn? Jerseys.
It took me like 10
When I was a
years.
kid,
Yeah,
when I was a kid, it was a
I
Jersey.
didn't even know why he called it that until
The high roller thing.
I heard him explaining it
'Cause
about
he says-
California. I never got that.
He says,
all
let,
those
Ca-
years.
let,
He said
let
all the Mega
California
Buck
have,
guys. Well, he
let
said-
them have the bad hits.
We said the
Cali.
Mega Buck guys from California would always throw Brooklyns because they were
Yeah.
not used to bowling on
Right.
hard stuff.
I just
Right.
didn't know how he derived
Just-
that
he
word
just comes
until
up
I heard
with-
him explain it.
What's a Farkle,
Well,
though?
he doesn't
Exactly.
want. I know. I asked him about Farkle once. I don't think there's any specific, other than it's a cool word.
Nice shot.
Bialy tried to get that one to lay off and double, and comes up for a 9-pin.
I did a live stream in Pennsylvania about a month and a half ago for PJBT, and Brandon Bones bowling. He throws a craziest messenger. I go, Farkle! And the guy goes, what? I said, I'm going to teach you some new lingo today.
You better finish that second syllable. That's all I can say. He's like, Farkle. That's all
And
I
the guy
can
started
say.
laughing. He goes, I have something new I have to say now.
Flying Farkle.
As I said to him,
Yeah,
so Brandon throws about 7 messengers during the game, and one of them's a we call that the tumbling Farkle.
Tumbling
the
Farkle.
spinning
the
Farkle.
flying, the spinning
Yeah.
Farkle.
I said, whatever you want to call it, whatever just happened. The
And
guy
then
Add an
there's
adjective
the, and
to
then
it.
there's the senior Farkle.
Yeah,
which
the
is
guy-
the very slow-moving Farkle.
yeah, the Ed Roberts Farkle, I call those.
Really hung on to make that spare.
So Bialy just clears that 9-pin out. And guys, speaking of sponsors, I really want to thank Tony Baral at Bloomfield Electric, Tony and Suzanne Reynaud, and Clay Swartz at GMS Decorative Concrete for sponsoring and adding $3,500 to this Masters event. Thank you so much, guys.
It's a great prize fund.
The next event coming up is the Vincent Hall Memorial, September 17th and 18th. Grab your partner. It's an over-under 50 event. And as long as the bowler is able to bowl a NEBA singles event, meaning they qualified, they could bowl a NEBA singles, you can have them as a partner no matter how many titles they have. So we've lifted that restriction on titles just to see how that works out. We'll see how it goes. And limited to 50 teams, and that's right through the beak by Andrew. He's not going to double either. Neither is Bialy. So we're limited to 50 teams. It's a 10-game qualifier on Saturday the 17th on 2 different patterns. There will be Boardwalk and Titanium. And on Sunday, assuming we fill the field, we'll have 12 games of round-robin match play, 2-game Baker matches. And then we'll have a quick step ladder, top 3 teams and a step ladder. So
Just a wee bit of bowling.
should be a lot of fun. Just a
a
little
wee
bit
bit.
of bowling. Well, 10 games the first day,
There's
12 the
potential
second.
24 games if you want.
12 the second day because it's 24 Baker. That's 12. And then what? 2 more for
24
step
games,
ladder.
one person could bowl over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of bowling.
More than normal.
Have you ever bowled a PBA 50 event? I mean,
Do we look like we bowl PBA 50 events?
Weekend Warriors, did you say? What did you say? Well, hey, you know, you
I
will
might
have
look
won
like
something.
it, but you don't.
By the way, 6,000 added money from some schlock TechVision.
I think it's
live
awesome
streaming
you're
company,
doing
so
that. And
Yeah, thank you, Bruce.
be a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
So. You guys have your partners yet? You guys,
I do not have a partner.
let
Now
it be
you tell
known.
me.
Let it be known that Brian Bogosian, super senior of the world, does not have
2
a
different
partner.
patterns for
2 different
qualifying.
patterns.
And then 2 patterns in the finals, one on each
So
lane.
pick any under 50 champion you want, and that's who you can partner with. So
Jay Johnson's already been taken.
I don't think I should have told him that. Yeah, Jay Johnson's with Webb.
No, I
right?
knew
We
that. I
know
just
this.
haven't
Yeah,
really
We know
asked
that.
around.
yeah. I've already reserved Andrew Hall, so there you go. And here's Rob
Spare?
Green making a 10-pin, good cover.
1 pin lead by him.
And since he doubled, he's now got a 1-pin lead, Rob Green. So 1-pin match there, 10-pin match here on 29 and 30. And the Hall Bialy match.
Brooklyn.
That's way left. Gets the Brooklyn. So difficult out here to
He's trying to throw it over the
keep it
fronts a
in the
little
pocket.
bit. So
Yeah. But it's easy to throw it over the front and then throw your elbow too.
Well, exactly. You're afraid to miss right.
So you
was gonna
can
ask-
do both.
For-
Yeah.
to help a sponsor, I was going to say to you, GMS Concrete, you're doing some construction work coming up. That's all I was going to say. I'm not going to say anything else.
No, I understand. I
Green
know.
with a flush strike there.
That's all I was going to say.
Rob gets some good loft on it too. He's
Oh, he's
good at-
great. Yeah, he's
good at, very good at it.
Yep.
And that's 20, 1-pin lead still by Green.
Yep.
And Johnson now up in the 8th. And here's Vialli.
Stay down
Needs a
10.
double to catch up. He's been pounding the pocket. Another pocket shot. Finally gets one to go.
Down 10.
He left a pocket 4-10.
The real
left
strikes.
a pocket 9-pin.
The real strikes.
The real thing. There you go. And Andrew's twin ran a triathlon this morning, so that was fun. We were down watching that. Now we get to come watch Andrew in the finals here.
And where was that at that you were watching?
Lakeville, Massachusetts, near New Bedford.
Oh, okay.
Right near Alex's stomping grounds. We have a practice pair going on 23 and 4. Amanda Broge throwing a few warm-up shots.
Amanda working on her accuracy.
Yeah. I don't think you can improve it much on this. I hope. Here's Vialli to try to catch Hall and tie up the match.
That's left. Oh!
And not too left, just leaves a 4-pin.
I think it was left more than what we think, because he pulled
It's tough
up
to
out.
tell from this angle.
Yeah, it looked like he pulled up out of it pretty good. So, and then I think he watched, and I think he's actually amazing. He left the 4-pin.
Yeah, we're about 4 lanes to the right of that. So guys, after the Vincent Hall Memorial event, we'll have singles at East Providence. And once again, that 9 a.m. squad is where the 64 qualifiers for the Paul Forey Memorial will come bowl the first round of the playoffs, embedded with the rest of the regular 9 a.m. squad. So if you're part of that 64, you definitely want to be there. 9 a.m. October 2nd at East Providence Lanes for the singles event. That's sponsored by KR Strike Force and Brian Beaver. Thanks so much. After that, guys, we're back at a Jeff Barden house. We're going back up to Manchester, Yankee Lanes. First time there. He's adding $1,500 to both the senior and women's prize funds and $2,000 to a singles prize fund happening that weekend. So similar to this event, senior, women, and then a regular singles event up in beautiful Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, fast 8.
He had that
pin one right between the 4 and 7.
Yeah, that head pin slipped right between those two. Sonia West, how are you? Great to see you on the live feed. And again, Jeff Barden, thanks so much for all your sponsorship. Keene was a wonderful weekend. After that, guys, we're off to Auburn for the non-champs. Ryan,
that's a better
non-champs
shot.
And champs. Great shot by Hall for the double.
Ball in hand.
Hey, Brian, non-champs, champs coming up.
Nice.
That would be Auburn, November 12th and 13th. DJ's Pro Shop, thanks, John Zawalik. And our title sponsor, Storm Rotogrip and 900 Global, are sponsoring our event for the Champions TOC. And that would be November 13th. Oh, by the way, the November 23rd singles at Manchester is the second round of the Paul Forey. That's when 48 bowlers will go down to 36. And then we'll go, was it 32? 48 to 32.
48 to 32.
64 to 48. And Hall
third
with a
good
flat
shot.
10.
Gonna make it?
Is now, can he beat 195?
He's a spare.
Yes, he can. Spare.
Spare and keep it on the
any
lane.
count. And he shuts out Vialli.
Big shot for Green here.
Yes. It's pretty good. Slaps a 10 out.
A 10 to go. And that's after Jay Johnson doubles to go at a 2-0 pace.
One more hit for Rob, make Jay strike.
Yeah, huge shot here by Robert Green. And guys, we wrap up the year, and big spare here by Hall. Gets it. And guys, we wrap up the year at Norwich with a senior event on December 10th and a singles event on December 11th. That's the last round of the Paul Forey Memorial. The top 32 guys will bowl for a 20-place prize fund with $2,000 on top. And Green gets the hit in the 10th. Huge. And Andrew Hall straight down the middle. Survives another Contenders bracket match against Chris Vialli, and he will move on to face the winner of
Rob needs 9 here to make him strike.
Green. Yep.
9 or better.
There's a quick look at the score there, guys. And again, this is the Green Jay Johnson match. And look at that.
No, that's out the window.
Whoa.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He gets
Still got 7 out of that.
7 out of that.
It was like count them as they
It
fall.
looked like 3.
Imagine trying to. I think that was the 157, right?
It was
He
the
finally
157.
left. Imagine if he had to shoot that.
That's big though. The count was big there, right?
Yeah, 9 spare strikes enough now.
Yep, exactly.
Uh-oh, here's the lefty shot by Vialli.
0.
And that would be 0 out. So Jay Johnson, what does he need? 64. He needs
9 spare strike.
9. So he needs to fill 19, right?
He needs 9 on the
right?
first ball.
Yeah.
9 or strike on the first ball.
Well, if he gets 8 spare strike, it's a tie. Okay. And got it right.
Oh, he gets the
Threw
Greek
that
church.
beak for
Looked like he bounced a little on him.
Say, look like it bounced,
Didn't
right?
come off his hand.
Yeah,
as good
I mean,
as
a
some of
little
the other
careful
ones.
with the shot and all that. Very uncharacteristic of
For what
Jay
we've seen all
Johnson,
year.
and he just pushed himself out of this tournament. It will not be title number 5 for Jay Johnson. And to the relief of so many people, and now it will be Hall against Rob Green, and it will be our 2 remaining undefeated
Bowling for the number 1
bowlers,
seed.
Dunbar and Broge. Okay, guys, we're going to sign off. We'll be right back. Brian, can you stay with us
Yes.
going forward? Thank you so
Sure.
much, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you right back in a few minutes, guys.